stupid for a wise man. For know it all like yourself, you should have known that I should have covered our tracks. Hey man, you thought I stupid for a wise man. Go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me.
3 boys, double bass, guitar.
Perfect. Welcome everybody to the Don't Trip podcast. The Don't Trip. If this is your first time, this is the Don't Trip podcast, where we're grown people, real grown, with grown opinions, debating, sounding like we're arguing, but we're definitely not arguing. It's just passionistas, okay? And I'm your host. I am JR, and I'm just going to go around the clock. So I'm going to start with Big Up Trim, aka Trim Zini.
Boop, boop. What's happening?
Brilliant. Then we got Renz.
What's going on? Good evening, all.
Good evening. Then we got Cairo.
Yes.
Big up to you. Then we got Tiny G, aka Tiny the Godfather.
Blessings, family.
And we've got a guest today. He's a very special guest. Who's in the studio. We've got Colm. As you can see, surrounded by superstars. There you go.
Hey, all right, guys, how you doing?
Big up.
Good.
So today we've got a fun, packed show. One of the things that we're going to work on is being a bit more direct, compact in what we're saying, but we always go off track. We've got so much things to say. So let's kind of have an overview of what we're going to be talking about today. So first thing we're going to do is a Premier League roundup. We're going to really just look at the results and see where we are. We're going to have a team focus. So we're going to focus. The spotlight is going to be on Man United, just to be specific. We're going to look at the transfers and the window so far, just so we can look at things. And we're also going to look at the winners of the week and the losers of the week. And we're not going to talk about any of you individuals because you're all winners to us. And then we're going to wrap up the show at the end of the show. Yeah, because we're really nice people here. We're going to wrap up the show and go through that. So, brilliant. So, first of all, the Premier League round up. So, we're going to look at the scores. So, starting from the top, we have Manchester City 4-1 against Ipswich Town. Kind of expected. Crystal Palace, they lost 2-0 at home to West Ham, the Hammers. Fulham won 2-1 against the Foxes. Leicester. Brighton won 2-1 against, what team is that? Manchester United. Okay, cool. All right. I feel like someone in here supports Man United. And then we've got Aston Villa. They lost 2-0 to the mighty Gooners, aka Arsenal, aka, the best club in London. And then
my.
and then Southampton lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. Liverpool, you'll never walk alone, won 2-0 against Brentford. And Bournemouth 1-1 against Newcastle. Chelsea, with a surprise, shocking, massive scoreline. Not the win, the scoreline. All right, 6-2. All right, they won emphatically. And Tottenham, they didn't bottle a lead. They kept it and won 4-0 against Everton. So that's essentially the roundup of the results. Now, what will be interesting is we're going to just, before we go into the next part, is just talk about the table as it stands. Now, the table as it stands is going to be interesting because it will feed into the very next part. So at the moment, the top 6 equates to Man City, Brighton, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, and Newcastle. Now that's just as it stands. Interestingly enough, two of the teams that we spoke about having some differing results are not quite in the top 6 quite yet. Now, I think
Plenty
that
of
feeds
time.
into what's that?
There's plenty of time for them.
There is plenty of time.
Agreed.
2 games in, all right, but it feeds into a nice little section that we've set up, which is focused on Manchester Red. Or Man United. Okay. Now we do have our resident Man United supporter here, Tiny the G. And I think should we let Tiny go first, or do we want to contribute to the conversation, or should we let Tiny go first? Because he said he's got a few things to say.
Yeah.
Uh,
Quite a few still. Yeah, I think you lot might as well, because I might even
Chime in
have
first.
some points that. No, I think you lot should go first, because I'll probably have
Yeah.
some of my points. It might, you get me, touch on some of the things that you guys are talking about.
Cool.
Who wants to get something off their chest or speak about Man United or?
I don't mind starting off. I think that when we've done our predictions, I put Man United to end up in the top 4. I feel that this season, that they just can't have a season like last season, basically. So it's just
Okay.
it's just outright that
Yeah. I hear that.
it won't be right for Man United to finish 8th. I don't know if I've seen that before in my life, but yeah, mighty Man United. I just reckon that they'll do better. They've made some improved signings so far, which look promising. Xerxes, they've got the lit. They've got the defender from Bayern Munich, and today they bought a midfielder.
Yep.
I can't pronounce his name. Ugarte. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Uruguayan.
So they've really looked to make the changes that they've needed, and I feel that over the time period, Ten Hag has definitely got sufficient support. So it's now or never for Man United, and it's not a dramatic task that they have to win the league. They just need to do better than last year, which I don't think is hard to do for Man United.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cairo, what do you think?
I think they're a bit of a shambles, to be honest. I think you know what it is that in all seriousness, I think for them, their thing is they've got attackers that they feel like can produce. I don't think that they'll be any better than last year. I think they'll be exactly in the same place. But the only reason where I'll be able to like fall on my sword is if they get better defensively. That's the only reason why I think that Man United will be the same. If their signings can come in and genuinely make a difference defensively, because they were just shots on goal, 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 and then they expect to win games. Like as one of the big teams in the league, you can't concede that many shots on goal and win games. It's impossible. So if the defense doesn't pick up, then I reckon they're going to be in the exact same position as they were last year.
Okay. Trim.
Well, some of it's already been said. I think that definitely they need to the new acquisitions need to need to be accountable, need to come and make a difference in the team. I think that again, Ten Hag cannot afford to have anything close to the season that he's had. I think the pressure's on as well because he's already lost the game. If he could have gotten maybe three or four games in, and I think he would have been able to steady the ship. I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen within the next month, maybe the next 4 or 5 games. See what happens, and the keeper's got to definitely improve as well. So I think Onana's a good keeper, but for some reason he's letting 50, 60. Was it how many How many within a certain
More
amount
goals,
of
more goals than
appearances?
ever in that
What's the
period
stat?
of time.
So yeah,
I think it's like 60 and 40 or something.
a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. So yeah, more than other keepers that are in the top six. Or so if that's what they want to do, if they want to actually target the top six, then all of those things that have been mentioned need to be addressed. What about what about you, Vapor? What do you think? Sorry, just
Well,
JL.
well, well.
Bah, bah.
If I'm being honest, right? I
Yeah.
don't think. I don't think it's that bad. I think there is always going to be pressure on you, whether you're 10 games in, 20 games in. It doesn't matter. Losing a game just means that the gap is widening. You're right, but I don't think it's. I wouldn't be too. I wouldn't be crazily worried. Because like losing to Brighton, you have to remember that as well. Like statistically, everyone has a bogey team, and Brighton is Man United's bogey team. So losing to your bogey team, it happens, right? I think they've not lost to any other team as often as Brighton in the last 10 years. So like it happens. What I would say is that the positives, I would say if that offside goal goes in, it's a different game. It's a very different game, right? It's a different game. You start to play with confidence. You're on the front foot. They have to open up, and there will be more spaces for you to do what you need to do. I think that Man United were creating chances. So if it's a scenario where they're not creating any chances, then you'd be worried. Um, but I think to the negative side, I think to Cairo's point, like you still need to sort out the defense. Like you can't push on if you're not sorting out your defense. Like there's no point of thinking you can outscore teams at this level in this league, and especially your attack is kind of sometime-ish anyway. You can't outscore teams, so you need to sort out the defense, and you build on the fact they haven't conceded, and you have enough quality to punish them at a certain point. And I think Man United really need to work on that. I do feel Man United also will look at 2 of their next 4 games and think, okay, we don't want any losses in there, because I think if I looked at the games, the next 4 games are Liverpool, Southampton, Crystal Palace, and Tottenham. Now,
Wow.
are going to be a tough game. We've seen how they perform this week. Liverpool, we know what they're like, and we know that the results are up and down, but there have been some bad ones recently. So I think you just need to get through that point and then build upon that. Hoyland will be back, and they'll start to click together. The new players will start to click together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Colm, what's your thoughts, Colm?
Well, first thing I want to say is any Chelsea fan calling my club a mess of a club. Look at your own club first. Jesus.
We get it's a week basis.
Triple decker buses needed for your match games.
But
Hey, we got our win. It's week to week basis. When I can dish out because my team wanted to win, I'm gonna do it because it's definitely gonna come back.
Oh yeah. No, I mean a lot of things. I can agree with a lot of things. My biggest issue is, even though we've signed these new players, it's the same things as last year that are letting us down. The unmarked men at the back post, the out of position left backs, all this stuff, and it's happening every single game. It needs change. I know we can say, yeah, okay, we don't actually have a left back. Dallow's playing there; he's right back, but that's not an excuse. If you see that there's 3 spare men at the back post, you need to cover that spot. I'm sorry. And the other thing is, I'll say it out loud now. I'm Ten Hag out. I have been for a whole season because I don't rate him. I don't think he's good enough at all. His in-game decisions are wrong. His start of the game tactics are wrong. I mean, you've got Xerxes, who you've paid money for, and you're sticking him on the bench. You've got DeLitt, and you're playing Maguire over him.
After he scored a winner.
Yeah, exactly. After he scored the winner. But now you're sticking him on bench. you know, and you're playing Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes. Why? They can't play together.
Mason Mount's quality.
What is Mount there for?
Look at he's like, yeah, yeah.
Fair.
I
That's fair.
was thinking, just to add to that, sorry for cutting in, but I was I had a
You lot are
conversation
taking up
earlier
a
on,
lot of time. I've got a rant to do, you know.
and I was wondering if Ten Hag was trying to do what Mikel Arteta done with Kai Havertz and play Mason Mount up front until he give him that confidence, give him that boost when times are rough. Like, do you know what? I got your back. I'm supporting you, and we'll get through this together. Kind of vibes. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that is something that came into my head
Possibility.
earlier on. Yeah.
See, I'd agree. I'd agree with that if Mason Mount was as good as Kai Havertz.
Oh man.
Oh man, what a
Oh my
Tiny, what
gosh.
are you saying?
They're both horrible.
Well, I'll start
I'll
at
think
the
about
attack. I'll start at the attack where we was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. Hoyland's injured, but we've got a striker. Why are you buying a striker to not play him? Man scored in the last game. If he's unfit or something, make him start and then sub him if need be. But why are you playing Mount? What does he do? There's no shots. There's no assists. There's nothing. He's just there for no reason. It don't make sense to me. Rashford needs to hold some bench. After what he done last season, you're giving this guy more starts. Why?
Yeah.
We already know Garnacho's the guy that's doing stuff. Put him on the pitch. The substitutes was making me even more vexed. McTominay's leaving. Why are you bringing him on the pitch?
Yeah, that
Like,
was
that don't
pointless.
make no sense to me. Like, Casemiro's legs are going. Like, it's
Go on.
one thing after another.
Well, that's what you got to sign him for today, isn't it? That's him. That's his role.
Well, we'll all to be seen. I know sometimes when these players come to the Prem, it's difficult to hit the ground running, innit? So hopefully
It's not
he
easy.
can. Hopefully he can, and yeah. But even defensively, like, we got Delit. Why are you bringing him on as a sub? We already know the issues that we have in defense. If he's not ready, just don't bring him on at all. But if he's ready, play him. Why are you buying players to have man sitting on the bench? It makes no sense to me. Like, initially, like I've been saying, boy, give 10 some time. But the more games that I see, the more I'm like,
Two games.
I don't know if I can even give this guy time anymore.
Yeah.
I
So
think
can I
you're
ask
being a
very
bit
quickly
harsh.
to the Man United
What?
supporters?
Wait, sorry, what?
Sorry, but you're not done.
bit,
You're not.
sorry.
Sorry, you
The last
ain't
bit.
finished, mate. Sorry.
But yeah, I see
But?
little bits of good football that we play, but it needs to be more consistent. You can't tell me 10 minutes of good football is enough in a 90-minute match. Do you get me? Like, why is it that you can't play this football for the whole game? And I'm only
No
seeing
team
these
can.
little spells. Do you get me? So
Do you
all
see an
that I just don't get.
improvement
I don't get.
this season over last season? Do you see any improvements?
We're 2 games in. I cannot give you
Too
none
early.
of them analogy.
All right, so can I ask very quickly to the Man United support? No, it's to everyone. No, to the Man United supporters. It's been said that obviously, no matter what, you guys got 2 cups in 2 seasons. Is that enough for to say he should have stayed? Do you think that those 2 cups were enough to keep? Because Man United thought it was as a football club, but yourselves as fans, do you think that was enough to keep him in the
Personally,
hot
for
seat?
me,
I think Combs.
personally,
I think I know what Combs
oh,
going
God.
to say.
Personally, for me, no. But
Good.
the reason why I say, well, I said before, prior to this season, that 10 should stay is because I don't feel like he's had his team at Man United, if you get me. He's bought a few players here and there, but I don't think he had his actual squad. But I don't know if his squad's good enough.
So what's
So
he got now? Because he's bought a lot.
No, but this
It's
is what he's got
Ajax
now, innit?
2.0.
This is the time.
so
Cool.
from last season, he was to stay at Man United because he didn't get the full support. Now he's got the support. 2 games in, you're Ten Hag. Sorry, let me ask you: are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out?
Out.
After 2 games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I'd be
quickly.
Ten Hag out
No,
after a season.
my reasoning is because of decisions that he's making. You've bought players. Why are they not playing? If you can give me a valid reason why these men ain't playing, then cool, innit? But you're doing you're making decisions that don't make sense to me. And
maybe Delict had 45 minutes fitness in him.
no, but
That's it.
that's you giving me your analogy.
I'm just giving you
If
an
he had
example.
45 minutes, personally, if he had 45 minutes,
I'll
let
take
him
it.
start that 45 minutes and
I'll
then tell
take
me
it.
that you're tired.
Can
You
I
get
just
me?
say very quickly? Big up to Tequila 316. He said Anthony has got more than 1 foot.
Yeah.
And
Has
said
he
that
though?
Ten Hag should stay for the whole season, and that I agree with this as well.
Definitely.
Mason Mount is a world-class
Right.
midfielder.
Yeah, I
Tequila.
agree.
Tequila is. Hold on. Before you start saying you agree and everything, Tequila is a Spurs fan, by the way.
Okay, that's nice.
I agree with the statement, not the person.
He's a nice guy. Tequila's a great guy, to be fair. But no, I mean, I'll put this out here right now. Do you honestly think Ruud van Nistelrooy's come to be a coach? Not a chance.
No.
Ruud van Nistelrooy's come to
Nah.
take
No.
Erik Ten Hag's job because Sir Jim and Ineos have zero faith in Ten Hag, and the right to have zero faith in Ten Hag because the man is clueless.
Yeah.
Go win your bloody trophies in the Dutch league where it's nice and simple for you. You're not good enough for the Premier League.
He did win a trophy here as well, too.
He's won 2.
He's won
Yeah,
2
Yeah,
trophies
two
here.
trophies,
He
bro.
said it.
Did you
He
see his
said
running?
it.
Did you see his run into that? Jesus, we
Two
nearly got
second
beat
rate
by
trophies.
Coventry.
Get out of here.
Shouts
Yeah.
out to Sasky Guna as well. Thanks
Oh,
for
we
joining
don't need
us.
any more gooners
What's
anywhere
wrong?
near
Beg
this.
God,
your
this
pardon.
Cairo. Oh my God.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I've got a thing to say as well. Like, I think, like, as we have to remember, we're fans, right? So we're always like looking in perspective as like this. Why doesn't he do this, and why doesn't he do that? Like, we also have to think. Surely he's tried it in training. Surely he's tried to play these 2 players together, and it didn't work. It didn't look. It didn't come out the way that you think it should. It should come out. And Cairo's a coach as well, and I know Trim, you've done coaching before. When you see something, it looks like it should work, but it just doesn't work. Maybe that is the case. There might be things, and when I spoke to someone who I know who works in football as well, it's like sometimes it's to do with contracts. Sometimes it's to do with, if I play this person this amount of time, this amount of minutes, then we have to pay these bonuses. In reference to people like Xerxes, like, I don't quite understand it, to be honest, because I think, like, you've seen what he can do already. You can play around it. Maybe in training he isn't getting the philosophy. He's getting out of position a bit too often. So you think we'll bring him on to be an impact. But I think, like, he doesn't have, excuse my French, but he doesn't have the balls to make these kind of decisions. It seems that I'm going to play this
But
guy ahead of this guy. I'm going to put Mount on the bench because it's not working,
but
and I'm going to go
but
for it.
wait,
So
but but our striker got injured. The next striker in line is not Mount. I can't hear the argument, bro.
well, if he doesn't think he's fit, if think about it, how valuable these players are. If someone isn't 100% fit and you play them at
No,
the
but don't play
highest
him then.
intensity,
I,
one
I
second. If you
sorry, go
play
on.
someone at the highest intensity, right, it means that actually you might injure them, and then you've got no strikers. So what he might be looking for, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, right? Is as much as we insult these managers, they've been managing a lot longer than us in positions differently. And yes, the managing level might not be the same in the Prem as it was in Eredivisie. But to say
Elsewhere.
that he doesn't know in a high pressure scenario who to play and when to play them, I think is naive of us to an extent. But I feel like what he hasn't got is grips with the kind of player he has and when he needs to play them, and that's going to come with time. But
How
he's
long?
done it. But again, he's not the type of individual that probably knows how to adjust and pivot quickly, and he needs a certain play. Like, there's managers that can't win anything without their team. But as a manager in the Prem or any type high level, you have to buy yourself some time. So you play the way you need to play to get yourself into the position where you can buy yourself some time.
Cool.
And I think he's bought himself some time, but now it's coming to crunch time, really, and he needs to show the style with the players that they've been investing in. And I think you're right. Van Nistelrooy is waiting in the wings to take over.
Cool.
But my question about Mount is, did he really think that playing him up front was ever gonna be a good idea? Like, as you can see, I'm a Chelsea fan, and people that know me know that I was Mason Mount's #1 fan when he was at Chelsea.
True.
So it's not even as if I'm just chatting rubbish now. Yeah, I was very sad to see him leave, and even now, knowing that
Well,
he
obviously
is
not.
a proper top quality player, but he's not a forward to even be someone who plays up
Yeah, he's
top,
not
in
that
my
type of player.
opinion. So why don't you play? I think it will make more sense to play Rashford up top. You got Xerxes, who's clearly not ready if he's not playing. Or can you play Garnacho? Those sorts of players that are proper forwards that are gonna affect the game. That is not his game at all. That is not his game at
Okay.
all. Mount
Cool.
is more
What's
of
your face like
he,
that, Tiny?
I heard someone say about
Ti-
Rashford up front.
that's where he came through in the first place. He was never a winger when he first came through at Man United. You
Bro,
guys was
he
playing him
was.
up front.
You see the word was that you put in that sentence there. That is
That
the
was a
key
long time
word.
ago.
He is
Yeah, but
adapted to playing on the left now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's his position.
Rashford,
It's
right?
done.
Rashford could not hit water if he fell out of a boat.
Tell him again.
I
But
don't
that's
understand
my
this
point.
though. Did you
Mason
guys feel
Mount.
this way last season? Not last season, the season before when he hit 30.
This isn't
Like,
listen. This isn't the season before. This is now.
no,
I'm
no,
seeing
no,
what
no.
he's
I
doing
asked the
No.
week
question
in, week
of
out.
did you feel this way then?
Bro, it don't
Because
matter how I felt 2 years ago.
Okay.
We're now. What's 2 years ago got to do with how I felt?
it's just a simple
Rashford,
question. Did you feel the same way 2 years ago? He's been at your club for how many years? 7, 8 years? How
Bro,
long?
Rashford's been
I'll
hit
tell you
and
what, right?
miss.
No,
Rashford's
I
been hit
didn't
and
feel
miss
that
for a
way.
very long
Right.
time.
So what did you say,
Go
Cole?
on, Cole. Sorry.
I didn't feel that way 2 years ago, but I did 3 years ago and 4 years ago because he always has one good season and he does naff all for the next two.
Yeah, we said that. Yeah, definitely.
I
Also.
agree. I agree. I had this conversation earlier on today, and I
And
noticed
when
that
it's a pattern. You see, when you keep seeing the same pattern, it gets I've had enough. Do you get me? Why am I
So-
going to keep going over the same rubbish over and over again every season?
So would
So-
you play Rashford even on the left as a starter for Man United now?
No.
Okay, cool. So, to kind of wrap this up,
Oi.
we've spoken a lot about Man United and what's not gone right, right? So, what would put it right is to put it right just to sign someone else? Is it to change the system? Would it be to move players around the pitch? Like, what would make
There's a lot
Man
of work to
United?
do.
So, what? Like, tell me, you've got what, a week left or just under a week of the transfer window. Is it just players? Because the next topic we're going to discuss is transfers anyway. But what do you want?
My thing is,
for Manchester United?
if he's buying players and not playing them, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
So it's the manager then. Okay, cool. So if Ten Hag wins his next 5 games in a row, do you still want him out, or does it not matter?
5
I
is
gotta
good.
see. I gotta see some progression. Like I haven't seen us play good football for 90 minutes in ages.
Do you think
Let's
that's
start
that
there.
important? Do you think that's that important? Because
That's
if
the
you had a
results,
good,
isn't it? It's got to be the
if you
results.
if
The
you had a
result-
good
the
90
results-
minutes and you
got-
lost, yeah, how would you feel then? I'm just asking because I've seen Arsenal play Man City.
I'd
after
be
City had
I'd be
COVID
happy
and
to actually see my team actually playing some football and trying. Like how I feel at the moment with a lot of Man United games that I've watched is like a lot of the players don't care no more. Do you get me? Like it's just I'm just doing my job in it. Like we've
So
seen
who's that
countless
from? The
videos.
manager or the players?
It's got to be both because the manager's got to motivate the players to do what he's asking. Do you get me? Like
Is it a respect thing then? Is it a respect thing?
I
Whether just
couldn't
like
tell you because I'm not in the changing rooms, but
Oh man. But yeah, no, I think it's a respect thing. But yeah, the changing room thing is a bit mad.
So Combe, you want to say what you would do to change it? Hey yo,
Sorry.
I
Go
but
think
yeah,
on.
to be honest, there's been so much going on at Man United. I don't know what is needed at the moment, but I'm here for the ride.
no,
New
Let's go, dude.
manager. That's what I
what's
think.
needed.
But yeah, what's good?
Go
Come
on,
on.
Combe.
What's needed is a style of play because we don't have one at all.
No.
You know, we went
No.
from Ollie Ball, which is counter-attacking football, which was actually not half bad. We won games doing that, but we haven't got the players to do that anymore. You know, and then we
Agreed.
try to play Ten Hag ball where it's all pass out from the back, but we keep getting caught on the break because our defense is about as useful as a wet bag trying to hold a bowling ball. You know, you go straight through it. It's not even difficult. You know, it's a style. We need a style of play. That is what we need. And I know Ten Hag's trying to bring in the players, but come on, let's be honest. We are becoming Ajax FC 2. That's what we are. We're not Man
Yeah,
United. We're becoming
Ajax
Ajax FC
2.0.
2.
So, what
Yeah.
are you saying? The Ajax of last season?
I won't even say Ajax of last season, to be fair. I think we're worse.
Last year.
I said last season had Henderson in it. What do you mean? What do you mean?
The season got better. And I would say Man United season got
Oh,
better.
okay.
Because
Okay.
Ajax were in the relegation zone, I believe.
Yeah.
yeah, early there was, yeah.
Yeah, they were in a terrible position. But okay, so moving on to that. So the next topic will be transfers. So
I'm back.
anytime you talk about transfers, it's like, wait, hold on, breaking news: Chelsea have signed someone. Oh, they signed
Match
someone else.
attacks.
Oh, they signed someone
I'm-
else. They keep signing someone.
yeah.
Like,
We still got the
today alone, I've heard 2 transfer rumors about Chelsea. Cairo,
Yeah.
you can talk about them because it's just you don't need to slow down. Like it's actually embarrassing. But
Mad.
continue.
we gotta keep the engagement up, make sure we're still relevant one way or another.
So who you been linked with, Cairo?
A certain man called Jadon Sancho. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Mad. How do you feel
Um,
about that?
How do I feel about that? I don't
Yeah.
know. We have a lot of wingers. I do like the fact that he's a boyhood Chelsea fan. I always think that always works for people. Because it becomes more of a thing as I want to play for this club because I've always wanted to play for this club. So there's an extra 10%. Now I don't know if Sancho strikes me as that type of player that will die for the badge kind of thing, but if there is anywhere where that might happen, it's either Chelsea or Dortmund. So we might as well give it a try. He's younger than Sterling, who's meant to be going the other way in the transfer. So I don't know how you feel about that, Coleman, Tiny. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's younger. It makes more sense for them to switch because Sterling's a boyhood United fan, and it's a weird concept. But yeah, how would you feel about having Sterling at your club, boys?
He'll play more games than Sancho.
Yeah, but the Ten Hag thing ruined the Sancho thing because he was alright, and then they started arguing.
No, I'd rather not have Sterling. I mean, you can go sit with fans if you want and watch the game. But no.
What about they're saying that Sterling's collecting the stones, the Thanos stones. He's trying to fill up the gauntlet. he's got City, he's got Chelsea, he's got Liverpool. Now he's going for United next, so he's got the whole gauntlet going on. He just needs
But
Spurs and Arsenal.
it's downhill. It's downhill, literally. It's only getting worse. The Liverpool career was awesome. It was a great build up
Should have stayed.
for Sterling. It was really good. But to be fair, he's gone to Man
Nah.
City and he's won everything
Yeah,
at City.
can't
So
knock him.
that's good. He's gone to Chelsea and now he's getting his retirement money. And he'd get that at Man United as well. But like footballing wise, it's gone downhill. But me personally, as an Arsenal fan, I'd love Sterling at Arsenal. I would absolutely love Sterling at Arsenal. I think that he would do wonders in supporting our wings. I think he will contribute tremendously.
Does he want to
Swap into
support?
Jesus easily.
Jesus. Oof. But does he want to go somewhere to support, or does he want to go to actually play his football and start?
To be fair, I think Sterling at his best,
Starts.
if he came to Arsenal, he would definitely be support for the beginning. But if he was playing anything like he played at City when he was thriving in that team, I'd think it would be a great problem to have. I think it would be an absolute tremendous problem to have.
He knows the manager, doesn't he? So.
Okay. So who's your other random transfer rumor or interest at Chelsea?
Oh, we got Ivan Toney is being talked about, which I really like personally. I've been saying it for maybe a season and a half now to go and get Ivan Toney. I did rather him than Osherman. I know it's a bit outside of our transfer policy because he's getting on in terms of age, but someone who just brings a calmness and an aura where it's like, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Don't worry about that. He's not gonna be phased about playing for Chelsea. He's just gonna come in, do his job, and it is what it is. But I think we need a player of that has his qualities. He can hold the ball up. He's strong. He can win duels in the air. So if we do need to clip it straight to him,
he is something different for you guys.
Yeah.
If he was to join, definitely.
And then he just has his own personality, which
no nonsense.
He's a nice bloke. Is that you want to sign him because he's a nice bloke?
No, he has a personality where it's like a bit of arrogance, and I think you need that. Definitely as a striker, he said to Brentford that he doesn't really want to be there anyway. He wants to go and move on.
That seasons ago.
Yeah,
exactly. So Cairo, it's not as if it comes as a shock.
Cairo, you mentioned that you don't think that he would be afraid to play for the badge. Do you think anybody would be afraid to play for the Chelsea badge right now?
I think.
I'd play for the Chelsea badge because they pay good wages. Easy.
Yeah.
Do they? I think we got our wage structure's a lot different than what people think.
Hey, Renz, careful, Chelsea might watch and you might get a little knock at the door, signing and that.
I would
sign him up. They're signing everyone.
Bro, bro, they can send me with Sterling. From once I sign that contract and the wages start rolling in, you can treat me like Sterling.
Oh yeah, Sterling got his number taken 1 game into the
that
season.
Was dread. That's crazy.
Lukaku to Napoli, I heard as well.
Oh yes, thank you. Goodbye.
That saga's been most probably the worst football saga in history. I genuinely don't know somebody that's been at a club. He went there in 2 spells, and the last one was just horrendous. The loan out, we can't get rid of you. I suppose that interview where he said he wanted to go to another team or he'd want to go back before he's even played the game. That was a bit silly. But
to be honest, he's a decent player. He's a transfer whore, really. Like he's been to a million. He's gone to Italy, acted like this is a badge, and then said, "All right, I'll go there. I'll go Roma. I'll go. Oh, I love this place. Oh, no, I'll go to you. They didn't get the deal. All right, I love this place. Napoli, you take me. Yeah, I love it. I love you
He
all.
loves Italy. He loves
Hey,
Italy.
he loves it. But the thing
Maybe.
is with Lukaku, I think he's a decent player. I just think like he doesn't have the quality always in those big moments, and you expect that. He plays for big teams who need big moments, and he doesn't have that all the time. He can score throughout the season. He can do that. But when you need him for Belgium, when you need him in the Champions League final, and you're missing chances, like and bread and butter chances, and that's his problem. What I would say is that it's best for Chelsea that you've got rid of him. Like you've got rid of him, so that's
We're getting rid of a lot of the big money wage people. You have Kepa who's gone to Bournemouth on a loan.
Yeah,
You've
but
got
Bournemouth are not covering his wages.
yeah, but some of it they have to pay their
about
part.
a tenner.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, 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 yeah. I
so.
About
hear
a
that.
It's
tenner of
more.
it.
It's yeah. Lukaku was obviously on big money. Thank you. Goodbye.
But
Thank you for
do
your
you
service.
think that these players, I'm just throwing this out there, do you think that these players that are on, say, 200 grand a week and they go to another team and they say, do you know, we can take him, we'll buy him for 35 million, but we can only manage £120,000 of his remaining wages? Do you think that Chelsea are taking a hit on some of the wages or creating settlements? Not just Chelsea,
No,
any team, to be fair, any team.
I think Todd Bowley has his business set up, so I don't really think that the money situation where it's like, oh, I will do this just to do that. I don't think he's that type of person. I think he's getting whatever he can on the table, making sure that it gets done, and not getting. So he might lose over a transfer fee because he knows everyone's going to overcharge him. But at the end of the day, he knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to money. So I think that side of things, I don't worry in terms
But I
of
think
trying
you
to
should
get
be
shrewd
worried.
business
I
done.
think you should be worried, like because the way he's managing it, like it's a normal business, like a normally B2B business or whatever, but
Yeah,
it's very different. And I think like
no,
if
but
you look
in terms of the settlements and stuff, in terms of like running it as a club, I have worry. But in terms of settlements of wages, I don't. I wouldn't worry about that kind of thing.
what's interesting about that is I feel like the transfers that are happening now are temporary solutions for long-term problems. And even in saying that, so as an example, Arsenal, we signed Mikel Merino today, which for me is a big move
Well
because
done.
I
That's
don't,
that's a big statement.
it took about 6 weeks to get over the line. But I think with in saying that, we got him for the next 2-3 years to get some real quality that's ready to hit the ground running. Because I think that's also a statement. We signed a European champion, someone who is voted as one of the best centre mids in reference to tackling and duels won, and things like that. To say we are here to compete. We're signing a top player, and we got it across the line to add to our team. And I've just seen that Trim and in the last hour, Liverpool have signed the goalkeeper who's due to go out on loan, the Georgian
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
Georgian goalkeeper. Yeah,
Mama, that's or something.
but he's nothing's
Mamadashvili.
happening with him right now. I don't know if that means that Kelleher will be going, but it remains to be seen. You lot got rid of Eddie today, Eli?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if he's officially
I don't
gone.
think it's
They've agreed the deal. He's gone to do the medical. Once that's all done, then he's bash bosh.
Then you
McTominay
got what
doing
you asked for.
medical. Zup, 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 zup.
McTominay, he's the quality player. Quality player. Scored more
McTominay
goals than
deal. Once
Anthony.
that's filled, then he can skirt, fly over to England and get medical.
Do you know who
Cool.
played the chess piece? This transfer.
Who?
I think even though Pep didn't do much, he still killed it. He smashed it. He just went in and just said,
Savio.
"Yeah, Gundogan." Brah, bah, everybody shut up.
Gundogan, Savio.
Nah, but the George
Yeah, he's
He's
Girona
good.
decent.
winger.
The youth's
Yeah,
good. He's busy.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's good
He's
as
he's
well.
good.
good.
But to get Gundogan back as well. Sorry, just to
One
go
of
back to
three.
about
For
yeah,
free.
chess piece,
I
Chess.
chess
think
move.
anybody that signed Gundogan won. I think Arsenal should have put more of an effort in. I know it would have looked like a little losers thing, to go for him last season, but I think he's a top quality player. If you check out how many goals he scored for City the season before he left,
Yeah. He was their top goal
and he
scorer,
won,
wasn't
and
he?
he won.
Before Haaland came, wasn't he their top goal
Yeah.
scorer?
He was the top
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
goal for
believe
one
so.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah, for one season he was
and
the
he
top
Man,
goal.
scored game winners.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like,
Scores big goals. He's got the goal that gets them to win the league every year. Like every time, you just know it's gonna be him
Wild.
yeah.
all the
Okay.
time.
Winners
So
and
in
losers.
saying that, for this week so far, if we encompass all of the transfers, all of the results, who would we say are? We can all have our own opinion who are the biggest winners and who are the biggest losers of the week. We'll start with Tiny because you didn't say much in that last one.
What in terms of transfers?
No, just whatever.
Transfers or just whatever. Who would you say is the biggest
Whatever.
winners, losers, like
No,
results, whatever,
for,
injuries, whatever you want?
for me, some major winners. Tottenham slapping up
Everton.
Everton. Yeah, I didn't expect for. Um, losers. I'm still hurt by Brighton beating us up. So
Fair.
Man United the losers for this week for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Renz.
for me, the biggest winners of this week were definitely Brighton. They've got a manager that's 31 years old. Like, I
Wow.
just think that's just absolutely crazy, and to have the confidence and the bravado to take his team, or I think they were playing at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
But
was at
for
home.
Man United to come along and he says, "Do you know, I got this." Credit to him. Big up to Brighton. They're the winners of the week for me personally, and the losers of the week. I'd say Man United. I'd say Man United are the losers of the week, and not just because they lost to Brighton. I'd say they're the losers of the week because their striker Xerxes. If he didn't touch the ball, it would have been a goal.
Oh
That
yeah.
stood. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But for
That's what
me,
he
I think it
does.
was a bit of self-gratification. Like he's trying to get in the air 2-2, but you try to steal someone's dinner,
Thunder.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and then it got stripped from you, and nobody ate. Nobody ate. Like everybody could have ate if he just let the ball in, but he
True.
decided to intervene. So for me, oh well, personally, now do you know what? I'm not going to say Man United. I'm going to say Xerxes. Xerxes is the biggest loser of this week.
Biggest loser,
Just
yeah.
him personally. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
All right. Yeah. Trim.
I had a couple of winners. I think man like Smith Rowe, definitely a
Yeah.
winner. I think after not scoring for 2 years and then to come back and then play for his new team and then to not, I think that was amazing. I think Arnie Slot 100% getting his first win at Anfield. So I think that's definitely a win for him. And also, Liverpool hadn't won their first two, well, managers. I think since Graham Souness, he's the first manager since Graham Souness to win their first 2 games. So that was a plus. Shouts out to Madueke or whatever you say his name. He got a hat trick. So at 15 minutes just to do all of that, you get me? Whereas some players just don't score. So
He's no
shout out to that.
Lewandowski.
Bad. Also, Cole Palmer. How many assists? This guy
Three.
I don't care.
Three
I
assists.
think he got robbed. I think he got robbed for the player thing because he is such a just natural baller. I understand that. What's his name? What's the other youth's name?
Phil
Phil
Foden.
Foden.
Foden is phenomenal, but I just don't see the same. For me, I prefer Palmer. Pause. But losers, I have to say Man United, and I have to say Everton big time. I think Everton. Man United's calm, innit? So, but Everton got a good. They've lost twice, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy
So they get.
defeat.
I'm putting it out there. Relegated, but done.
But
And I'm
but
backing
Nah,
Everton.
stick to what you
Sorry,
said before, bro. Did you say
I'm
Everton
backing
in your
Everton.
list?
I said Everton in my list.
Oh, okay, I'm with you. I said Everton too.
No, I support Everton. Everton is not going to get relegated. They've never been relegated before from the Premier League, and I don't see
And
it,
it's
man.
about time.
Calm. So
But
what
do
you
you
said?
think?
So for yourself, Jr.
we'll let Cairo.
What about it's
say-
Carol?
Sorry, apologies. Yeah, what about him?
Well,
What you don't say no winners and losers, no?
winners,
No,
Stop
he
winners
bullying
of
can.
the
now,
Yeah, he
Trim.
season.
can. But yeah,
No
Get
bullying
me?
in there, Trim
Yeah.
Beanie.
watch him.
I've
Watch
got
out.
the heating on, bro.
Yeah. Cole Palmer.
Heating
The
on.
reason why I say Cole Palmer. The reason why I say Cole Palmer is because I was getting a bit nervous. He come back late because of the Euros thing. Obviously
Yeah, yeah.
scoring in the final. So come back very late and didn't get much preparation for the season. But now that he's actually off the mark, he got his goal. Very good goal.
See, good.
Three assists for Noni. But the main thing why I think that is bigger is because he played in the 10, which is where I think he thrives. In the first game, he played on the wing and he was kind of on the periphery of the play. Now he's in the 10. You see what happens. He's going to create, he's going to score. So that's why I feel like he's a big winner. Of course, Noni as well for scoring the 3 goals.
Scored
I
a
think,
bad boy goal.
yeah,
Palmer. Sorry. Okay.
yeah. For another one, I think is Brighton, just because of the football that they are playing. It's quite impressive, to be fair. And after the Derby, no one really thought that they would be doing well. They thought that their team would crumble. They've lost a majority of their better players every season that they do well.
They
Um, they
still
lost
recruit. Their
Caicedo.
recruitment's
They
on
lost
crud.
Caicedo and Gallagher. Not Gallagher. They lost Caicedo and McAllister. Sorry, which were two of their better players last season. And then they come around. They lost Matoma to injury last season. So now that he's back, their team looks very strong again, which is very interesting. So it'll be interesting to see how far they can go, and whether they can start to make that charge. For losers, I'm going to go Everton. It's a bit disappointing. I don't think they will go down just because of the golfing class. I think end of the season when anyone has to go to Goodison Park, I believe this is their last season there as well. So that
Yeah.
place is going to be rocking. And also, I don't know if anyone saw the incident with the fans at Euston when they were shouting at the players,
Yeah, I
giving them
saw that at the
abuse.
train station.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving them abuse. So that just looks real messy. So it has to be Everton for me.
Cool.
Uh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's JR now. JR, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? So winners. I'm going to name a player as a winner that hasn't been mentioned. I'm going to say Saka, my boy Saka, star boy, right? And the reason why I'm going to say him is one, it went under the radar how instrumental he was in those 2 goals. We played against Aston Villa, a team that we lost to twice last season. And Trossard was the guy who got the plaudits because he came on, he scored that goal. But actually, before that, if it wasn't for the work of Saka, it wouldn't happen. And then the next goal, Saka, he didn't get the assist, but it was him and his pass that bounced off Rodgers in the end. And it's all these moments that kind of go under the radar. And I think like everyone will shout anytime Cole Palmer does something brilliant. But when Saka does, it's always a bit played down. So I'm bigging him up as my winner for the week as an individual.
Nice.
The team,
Cool.
I would say, as a winner, would be shockingly, I'll say Chelsea. I would say Chelsea because they managed to bang 6 goals. And it's a team that is a bit hit and miss and didn't click. And guys that we're saying are terrible scored, and guys that are kind of okay. They scored some real good goals against a team we
João
Good,
played.
good.
Neto.
Yeah,
So
we scored.
sorry, go on.
No, go on. What was you gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask Com who was his winners and losers for this week.
I'm going to go down a slightly different route here, and I'm going to go, even though it hasn't actually happened yet, I'm putting Liverpool as winners of the week because they're about to sign a perfect Mo Salah replacement for £15 million in Chiesa, which I think is ridiculous.
That's going through.
Oh, get him. That's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for real.
going through for £15 million. So they're my winners of the week, and the losers of the week. I'm going to go down a very similar topic style as well. Is Tottenham, because they keep fumbling every single transfer they're going for at the minute. So
They won
funny.
4-0 and they're losers.
Man. I
Oh
didn't say
man,
my losers, by the way, actually, which is also someone that people haven't mentioned. My losers are Crystal Palace, right?
Oh yeah.
Crystal Palace, like because they've lost 2 in a row now. If you think about how they finished last season and how they're starting now, the upward trajectory isn't looking great, and they've also are still in the process of selling Mark Gay, and from what I heard from a Crystal Palace fan, they're looking at potentially selling Joachim Anderson as well. So 2 of their
Yeah, to
starters,
Yeah.
Fulham. I think
yeah,
he's gone.
yeah.
He's gone.
So
Gone. Yeah,
they're selling 2 of their main centre backs while losing back-to-back games, and they've
And
sold already
they
their
lost
star
their best
boy.
player. Yeah.
Exactly, they sold
And
their
they
star
sold
boy
their
to
best player
Bayern Munich.
already. Yeah.
So
yeah,
will
but
money?
they're gonna get Eddie, man. So it's a wrap.
Yeah. Eddie's got that.
Wow.
Eddie's
But
got
who's
that.
going to feed you? And who's going to stop the goals from coming in? And that's the point.
Eddie.
Like, like
It's all right. Eddie's gonna just finish all his dinner, man.
He's just gonna run to the back.
that's true. That's true.
He's gonna
Well, I
be like
suppose
Hazard.
if Crystal Palace got Harvey Elliott as well, it'd be over. They'd win the league.
What the fuck is going on? Harvey, what? Yeah,
Man just
mad.
throwing
They're
his
not gonna
players.
nowhere. Never.
But for me, they're the losers because I spell that they're going to struggle to kind of build up any of that momentum, and they'll be back in the same boat because you've sold your best players and you need to buy them again in January, and you need to build that again. Like even the connection between Eze and Elise was immense, and now you have to find that again, which is difficult. And he was linked with away. But they couldn't find a transfer fee.
I
That
heard
was
that
right.
there's Man City are looking at Eze because I wouldn't be shocked if Man City bought a striker or an attacking player before the season was out. I think transfer
They
deadline day,
told
sorry to
Alvarez,
go
innit?
back to transfers, is going to be crazy. I think this last week of transfers, me personally, I think it's going to be crazy. I think there's going to be deals
I
that are
think so. It's
happening that
gonna be
we're
it's
just
gonna
going to be
be
like, whoa, where did that come
supermarket
from?
sweep. It's gonna be
Yeah,
supermarket sweep.
Yeah, it is
yeah.
really going to be. It's going to be Boxing Day at Next on Oxford Street. It's going to be like that. It's going to be loads of people.
Cool.
Just waiting. Oh, give me something. But
Give
yeah,
me.
but to wrap it up, I think just in a summary of what the show has been about. I think like looking at the results, looking at how they align and whether the table's kind of shaping up with even our top 6 predictions, very interesting. It's already taking shape that our bottom 3 predictions were shaping up as well. All right, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. But again, it's very early days, and those transfers are going to make a difference. Not for Man United, has been said by Tiny G, because he doesn't matter. It's all about the manager. And even Colm talked about the style of play, and that's really down to the manager. So really, it feels like the transfers are going to be for the teams that already have that base there. Transfers are always something for Chelsea because they're going to try and do transfers in October, but I'm sure they'll forget that it's not a transfer window.
Yeah, they can't. They're just gonna keep on trying to buy people.
In
Free
October,
agents.
they're trying to make him bids in October. Can't we get him now? We'll pay extra. Can't you do Amazon or something? That's what they're going to try and do.
Just wanted to.
Corner.
Sorry, go.
But yeah, just to wrap it up, I think like looking at the winners and the losers, that will chop and change. But it looks like an exciting start to the season, and I think that we will all have a lot to say based on the next couple of things. And remember, Carabao Cup's now. We've got Champions League coming up. It's the squad depth is going to really make that
Spicy.
nice and
I just
spicy.
Don't
wanted
forget
to,
about the conference.
oh
Does
Lord,
that still start
yeah.
5-0?
I just
What?
wanted to. I wanted to say a big shout out to Full Time Sports Network as well. Thank you, Colin, for also chiming in. Amazing guest. So thank you for that as well.
Yeah, wicked
Big up.
column. Nice to chop it up.
Wicked, man.
Cool.
Sorry, Joe. You were saying.
No, that was it. That was it. Like just bringing up the people that listened in as well. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Any feedback, any topics, anything you want us to chat about, we're happy to hear more. But we just like, again, we're grown people having grown conversations. Today we debated, we didn't argue, and it was wicked. We love this. We enjoy it. Let's keep
It was
talking.
good. It
And
was
remember,
good.
don't
Yeah.
trip on your way out, right? But I'm gonna say my goodbyes. Everyone say their goodbyes. Thank you very much.
Toodles.
Don't
That is
trip.
my son's favorite.
Don't trip. You idiot. Don't trip, you idiot.
Remember,
Turn the
don't
heating
trip on all socials.
Cairo, turn the heating on. You look cold. Come
Nah,
on.
that's Nonny. Nonny's the fire and Cole's the ice.
What are you doing?
Peace.
Take care.
Bless, man.
Take care.
Goodbye.